An inquest has heard how a soldier accidentally shot his best friend because the weapon he was cleaning still had its magazine attached. Ranger David Dalzell, who was 20 and from 1st Battalion, the Royal Irish Regiment, died after being fatally wounded at a checkpoint in Afghanistan. Outside the court today, his father described it as a tragic accident. Victoria Smith reports from Trowbridge.
20-year-old Ranger David Gordon Dalzell had just come back from a patrol and was working at Checkpoint Ranger when he was accidentally shot dead. The inquest heard how he'd been fixing a flag in memory of a fallen colleague when a bang was heard. An eyewitness statement said he took a step backwards and collapsed. The court heard from Ranger Sean Barry, a good friend of Ranger Dalzell's, who'd been testing his SA-80 assault rifle in an accommodation tent on the base. Now, at that time, he'd been testing the magazine on his weapon, and he failed to realise he'd left it attached when he then tried the trigger. He told the court that when the weapon accidentally discharged, "I expected just a click, but the force when it went off was a shock to the system." He realised Ranger Dalzell had been shot and he shouted, "I've killed him, I've killed him." The court also heard Ranger Barry was tired after being on sentry duty at 3 a.m. that morning before then going on patrol at 11 a.m. But he stressed he didn't want that tiredness used as an excuse for what happened. Delivering a narrative verdict, Coroner David Ridley said he was satisfied there was no gross negligence involved in this case. While evidence was being given, he established that no changes to military procedures were to be recommended. The family of Ranger Dalzell were attending the inquest and paid tribute to him. They accepted the sequence of events that led to Ranger Dalzell's death.
These young soldiers work 18 hours a day. They're tired. They come back to camp. They've maybe a couple of hours stag to do, and in between that they get their admin done, that they get fed and look after themselves. I really can't say what I would like to happen, whether there should be an area set aside for weapon cleaning and that is the only area that they go to. But as you know, it'll never ever bring David back, and maybe if that lesson could be learned.
The court also heard how Ranger Dalzell was attended to by medics at the scene before being casevaced by an American helicopter to the field hospital at Camp Bastion, where nothing more could be done for him. Victoria Smith, Forces News, Wiltshire.